Marcellus Williams, whose murder conviction was questioned by a prosecutor, died by lethal injection Tuesday evening in Missouri after the U.S. Supreme Court denied a stay. Like, subscribe NewzClub for more updates. We hope this gives finality to a case that's languished for decades, re-victimizing Ms. Gale's family for decades, Governor Mike Parson said in a statement read by Trevor Foley, director of the Missouri Department of Corrections. No juror, no judge has ever found Williams' innocence claim to be credible. 2 decades of judicial proceedings and more than 15 judicial hearings upheld his guilty conviction. Thus the order of execution has been carried out. Missouri executes Marcellus Williams despite prosecutors and the victim's family asking that he be spared. The 55-year-old was put to death around 6 p.m. Central Time at the state prison in Bonne Terre. Williams' attorneys had filed a flurry of appeal efforts based on what they described as new evidence, including alleged bias in jury selection and contamination of the murder weapon prior to trial. The victim's family had asked the inmate be spared death. The U.S. Supreme Court's action came a day after Missouri's Supreme Court and governor refused to grant a stay of execution. The High Court offered no explanation for its decision, which is common for cases on its emergency docket. There were no noted dissents in 2 of Williams' appeals. In a third, Justices Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson said they would have granted the request to pause the execution. Williams was convicted in 2001 of killing Felicia Gale, a former newspaper reporter found stabbed to death in her home in 1998. In a statement after the execution, one of Williams' attorneys, Larry Comp, said his client maintained his innocence to the end. In a statement posted on X, the NAACP said Missouri lynched another innocent black man. Governor Parson had the responsibility to save this innocent life, and he didn't. We will hold Governor Parson accountable. When DNA evidence proves innocence, capital punishment is not justice, it is murder. Recently, the top prosecutor in St. Louis County joined Williams' attorneys in asking for the conviction to be overturned after new testimony from the 2001 trial prosecutor and recent DNA testing showed evidence contamination. The case highlighted the issue of potentially putting an innocent person to death, an inherent risk of capital punishment. At least 200 people sentenced to death since 1973 were later exonerated, including 4 in Missouri, according to the Death Penalty Information Center. Williams' last statement, witnessed on September 21, was "All praise be to Allah in every situation." Williams was a devout Muslim, an imam for prisoners and a poet. According to his legal team, Williams' last meal included chicken wings and tater tots, said Karen Podgman, spokesperson for the Missouri Department of Corrections. He had a final visit with Imam Jalahi Qasim from around 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Central Time, around 4:50 p.m. The Department of Corrections received word that all petitions had been denied by the U.S. Supreme Court, and about an hour later, witnesses, including Williams' son and 2 of his attorneys, were moved into the viewing area of the prison, Podgman said at a news conference. At 6 p.m., State Attorney General Andrew Bailey notified the Department of Corrections that there were no legal impediments to the execution. The lethal injection was administered at 6:01 p.m. and Williams was pronounced dead at 6:10 p.m., Podgman said. Around 100 demonstrators were present on the prison grounds protesting capital punishment and Williams' execution, Podgman said. No one from Gale's family was present for Tuesday's execution.